Correct. Playback would be nice, BC. Nope. Nope, we are feeling it today, man. No mulligans. We are not going to calmly talk about professional wrestling. Nope. We gonna be amplified. Let me talk to ya. How about that? BC's got a fresh coffee. I got a little bit of time on this Saturday afternoon for this amped up podcast, the 8th of July, 2023. A little bit of time I got for this amped up podcast. I got a fresh coffee and I'm fully amplified. So what we're going to do, first of all, I'm going to square up this camera. Put that up. So some respect to the nature boy up there and to the Mach. Mach, get over here. There you go, Mach. Gotta pay homage to the man. None of this happens without Macho Man Randy Savage, man. There's no amped up podcast, I assure you. What's up, everybody? I'm not in a pleasant mood when it comes to professional wrestling's World Wrestling Entertainment. First of all, your playback is good. Let BC put in his playback so I can hear myself scream. How's that? First of all, get him up, man. Get him up. No matter what day it was. Delts, buys, tries. Maybe it was leg day. My amplified unit. Listen, I'm going to get to the Roman Reigns trial in just a little bit. I'm going to give you my full thoughts on that, I assure you. You may be a little bit shocked, but you shouldn't be. If you listen to the channel for the past 5+ years I've had it, I tell you exactly how I feel about segments like that. I am going to get to the Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy, Solo, Paul Heyman, the Bloodline implosion. We'll get to the trial that lasted 45 minutes of the show. We'll go over it. We're going to talk about Greyson Waller losing his debut against Edge. It's one of those, you lost, but he's a legend, kid, so you didn't lose anything type scenarios. Other than he just lost his debut. We'll fucking overshadow it. We'll fucking... It doesn't matter if he starts out as a loser. They did the same thing with Carmelo just last week. It's redundancy, but nobody else wants to call it out. We'll talk about Greyson Waller and Edge. We'll talk about Io and Asuka, the match that we all want to see, right? Especially New York City. You're in Madison Square Garden, bro. Just do Io and Asuka, and that's going to make us flip the fuck out. No. You got to send Charlie out there, right? You got to have Charlotte in the title picture, which in turn has to bring out Bianca, and it turns into a schmaz. We'll go over it. And AJ Styles and Karrion Kross. Wait till we talk about that. You're not going to believe what happened to AJ and Karrion last night. At least they got fucking time, as some people, all right? That's what they're going to say. At least they got on TV, BC. And you'd actually be correct, because some individuals, they couldn't even get on television. What would you do if I told you the hottest superstar in pro wrestling right now, in terms of how fast the lightning bolt is catching on and catching speed, right? L.A. Knight, yeah. What would you do if I told you that Paul Levesque completely kept him off of SmackDown last night, and for insult to injury, put him into a dark match segment before the show with Hit Row, who Michael Cole has made it clear, if you're working with them, there's something wrong with your career, or they're just fucking with you. Hit Row, Michael Cole cannot stand Hit Row. And it's ever since fucking Top Dollar tried to go over the top rope and he got himself hung out to dry. And he made Michael Cole look like an idiot. Because Michael Cole is like, Top Dollar can fly! And no, he couldn't fly. He got caught up on the top rope and almost broke his neck and almost kicked everybody in the fucking face. it was bad, and Michael Cole looked like an idiot. Ever since Michael Cole has a problem with Hit Row, and Michael Cole has a lot of pull in that dressing room, locker room. Michael Cole is a very big influence, especially with Paul, Triple H, Schnoz McGee, Puss Face himself, Paul Levesque McMahon's inner circle. Michael Cole is tightly, firmly placed in that inner circle. So, LA Knight working a dark segment before SmackDown with Hit Row is insult to injury. It is like adding salt to a wound. So if you don't mind, since it's my podcast, and I know I much respect everybody on this Saturday morning that is going to catch this live in and out or into the afternoon. We're only on 1 hour notice, less than. I think it was 51 minutes of notice that we were even going live. But this is the only time I can do this, guys. If I cut a regular video, I would have no time to edit later. This is it. Then I got to go out in the world and whoop ass, amplified style. So I had to go live. So to the thousands that are going to catch this over the next 24 hours, all apologies. There's nothing I could have done. There's no advance notice I could have given you. To those that are able to catch this live, buckle the fuck up. If you're on your couch, your computer chair, laying in your fucking bed listening, if you're out for a fucking jog, if you're doing errands, if you got your kid in one hand and your pet in the other, find a seatbelt and buckle the fuck up, because I'm getting amplified in this cold open. I hope you understand. I am getting amplified. I'm going to take a big fucking swig. You're going to stay right the fuck there. Smash that up. We're only a few away from 100, and I haven't even gotten into the cold open yet. So what I would need from you guys is to get that son of a bitch over 100 on the ups, and then I can fully get amplified. Deal? So I'm going to need a swig. I'm going to come back when that's over 100, and we're going to get amplified in this LA Knight shit. What the fuck? They made that good today. Oh, that's a good double shot extra. I don't give a fuck if America runs on Dunkin'. B motherfucking C runs on Dunkin'. That's a good coffee. Oh. All right. Here we go, James Miller. We're going to talk to you. LA Knight is the hottest fucking superstar in WWE right now. No offense to Cody Rhodes. I'm not even talking about overall reaction, because Cody would still etch that out. In terms of catching lightning in a bottle, in terms of white hot momentum out of nowhere, in terms of organically getting over with the crowd, which is what I said the Bray Wyatt feud would do in January. I don't want to see Mountain Dew, Beasley. I want to see Sprite. Give me the Sprite match, man, or Fanta. Give me orange Fanta. No, you're getting Mountain Dew. Nobody's happy about it. But Bray Wyatt and LA Knight are working really well together. This could be really special for LA Knight. And I told you guys, even in defeat, LA Knight can come out looking really strong. I just hope the booking backs him up. LA Knight came out of the Bray Wyatt shit looking better than ever. Ready to go to the mountaintop. Getting himself organically over, and now the machine just has to give him that little last push to get to the next level. He'll do everything else himself, by the way. He doesn't need much by the machine. Just give him a little bit, a little boop. Gotta give him a little boop, right? Everybody needs a little boop sometimes, right? Right? Sometimes there's a little bit of difficulty. Sometimes you're wearing yourself out at the both ends, right? You're doing everything you can. You just need that little baboop, right? Just a baboop, just a baboop. No, this company doesn't want a baboop. This company doesn't want a baboop. Why don't you want a baboop? Because we're too busy putting all of our baboops into fucking Charlie Bear's baboop. Charlie Flair's baboop is all that matters. The Roman bloodline story is all that matters. Trying endlessly, tirelessly to get Austin Theory over is where the baboops are. Austin Theory gets nada in terms of reaction. Doesn't. Madison Square Garden, New York City. Look at his victory over Sheamus last night. We're going to get to it. The IC title match. But we're going to just push who we want. We're going to remain stubborn. We don't care if Austin Theory is in the top 10 in merchandise. We're going to remain stubborn. Not even in the top 10 is Austin Theory. Do you know where L.A. Knight is currently placed? With no booking. And when I mean no booking, guys, I mean he was left off of WrestleMania white hot. He was left off of Backlash white hot. He was left off Night of Champions white hot. They finally put him in a 7-man schmaz Money in the Bank match, which he lost, and now it looks like he's off SummerSlam or is going to be doing nothing. We are 28 days away from SummerSlam, and they have him in a dark segment, removed from SmackDown, fucking around with Hit Row. 28 days away from SummerSlam, and he is number 3 on your merchandise. He just surpassed Stone Cold Steve Austin in the 4th spot, which tells you how over Stone Cold was, by the way. It's 2023, and Stone Cold's still top 5. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and now L.A. Knight, just surpassed Stone Cold for the holiday 4th of July weekend. And this is without any booking. Could you imagine what would have happened if they just give him the time of day? Could you imagine what would have happened to this fucking guy? But we're going to push Austin Theory to the moon. We're going to keep LA Knight off the show? I was told, just like when Cody lost at WrestleMania. Do you remember what some of the community was saying at WrestleMania when Cody lost? Don't worry. Triple H just did a media round, BC. Paul Levesque McMahon just said there's more story to tell. Be patient. And there were some fans that actually believed Pinocchio Pussface. They believed Paul Levesque would not lie to them. Do you know what happened, guys? There's no more story to tell. Cody is in a fucking 3-month something with Brock Lesnar. Brockton doesn't even have a reason to take out Cody. I've said this a million times. I'm going to say it a million more times. There's no reason for this, and you're going to get it again at SummerSlam. And what happens, guys? Are you going to tell me that the plan is Cody Roman WrestleMania 40 Philadelphia? Are you going to try to tell me that the moment's going to be bigger than it would have been this year? Bullshit. Major bullshit. And you know it. You're never going to get that. Cody just feels like another guy. He still gets a good reception because we still, most of us anyway, love to see Cody. He's one of the bright spots on Raw or in this company. But he just feels like another guy. I forget what he even did Monday. What did he do? Oh yeah, he's brawling with Brockton some more, and then he cut a 60-second interview with the new interviewee Jackie at the top of the stage. 60 seconds, and he was out. Even the fans in attendance didn't know what was happening. Cody is like an afterthought. And you want me to hold on tight for another 9 months to get to Mania, and that's supposed to be a more special moment than what we could have had at Mania. And Roman has done nothing with the title since. He has not defended in 4 months. He went away for 2 months on vacation after Mania. When he came back, he's just in tag matches and an implosion family storyline. Nothing he's doing needs a title. The fucking necklace that he had, what's that called in Samoan tribe, guys? The red thing that he had around his neck institutes that respect and prestige of the tribe, right? That is more prestigious than the title right now. He fucking threw the title to the ground last night, and Roman just took the fucking, the necklace there. What is that called? No, it's not a lei. A lei is like paper, though. This was like a nice like a plastic or something, or like a I don't know. All right, maybe it's just a hyped up lei, right? Maybe it's a prestigious tribal lei. But that was more prestigious than the title last night. And that's what they're really fighting for. They're fighting for the tribal chief, basically, right? The leader of the family. The title is an afterthought. Nobody believes Jey Uso's walking away with a title, nor should he. And the Usos are my favorite tag team, by the way. In no way, shape, or form should all of this for over 1,000 days been to Jey to get a title. You know it. I know it. He didn't need the title. Cody should have had the title. But my point is, People believed Paul Levesque. There's more story to tell, BC. I think in the future, Cody will face Roman again. Okay, that's not more story. That's just a different book. So now you go to LA Knight and he loses at Money in the Bank. Do you know there was a pocket of fans? Thank you on the ups. Over $150. We're going toward 200 on the ups. But I'm not even close to done telling all these truths. Trust me. So then we go to LA Knight. Do you guys realize that LA Knight is in a position at Money in the Bank to just get that little baboop from the company? Just get that little push. He's going to do the rest. LA Knight with the briefcase. How fun that would be every time his music hits. Because you believe, LA Knight believes, he won't do that shit. And LA Knight, man, he's very spontaneous. He's very moment to moment as far as what he's going to do. It's old school Stone Cold, man. You never truly know what LA Knight's thinking. It would have been fun with the briefcase. But no, they went Damian Priest. LA Knight lost Money in the Bank in the crowd. We were like, wait, what? That makes no sense. You wouldn't have had Stone Cold lose the King of the Ring years ago, which was the final baboop, by the way, for you old school fans. If you remember when Stone Cold won the King of the Ring, that was the final baboop. After he won that, even the casual fans caught on to the Austin 316 bandwagon. It was really birthed on that night. But he was already getting over. WWE just had to do that. Could you imagine if they didn't have Stone Cold win the King of the Ring? You don't fucking do that, bro. Everybody knows that. Could you imagine if Daniel Bryan didn't win the title at 30 and culminate the Yes Movement? You don't do decisions like that. Hogan at WrestleMania 3 defeating Andre. You don't call the reverse. There's moments in time you got to read the room. Know what's best for business. LA Knight, it's clear, just like Cody at Mania, it was clear he's got to win the title, not just because people want him to. The business dictated Cody winning the title at Mania. Now nothing has made sense. And LA Knight winning at Money in the Bank. That was the only option. If you don't have LA Knight win Money in the Bank, the only other option is Damian Priest or Logan Paul, but we're not even going there. Damian Priest walking out with a briefcase every single Monday night teasing that he's going to cash in on Sethington does not scream excitement for BC. And if you're being honest, you're not excited to see Damian Priest every single Monday tease in his briefcase cash in. You just saw it Monday and nobody gave a damn. Much respect to Damian Priest, but just like Austin Theory, there's potential there, we believe. We like them, but you're strapping the rocket on them and not leaving any room to call an audible when people get white hot. So now Paul Levesque McMahon goes to another media scrum just like he did for WrestleMania and said there's more story to tell with Cody, and there's not. If he ever cross paths with Roman in the future, it's a whole nother book. Now he says, good things come to those that wait to LA Knight after Money in the Bank. Like he's a toddler. He's treating LA Knight like one of his daughters. Good things come to those that wait. LA Knight's 40 fucking years old. He's a grown man. He doesn't need to wait. He got over by himself. He doesn't need Papa H's golden shovel to hinder that son of a bitch. He just needs you to give him the final baboop in booking. LA Knight had all the momentum in the world, and Paul Levesque, Triple H actually says good things come to those that wait. And there was people that said, basically, hold on, man, something big for SummerSlam. I know you're upset, basically, and a lot of us are. That was just a wrong call. But I have faith in Papa H still, basically. I think there's going to be something massive for SummerSlam. Wait till Madison Square Garden, I was told, right? That's when they're really going to unveil their plan in 4 weeks for SummerSlam. Well, Madison Square Garden was last night. L.A. Knight. I was waiting, man. I was pumped up to see how New York responds. I was pumped up just to see L.A. Knight, man. There's just one problem. He wasn't on the show. Paul Levesque slapped every wrestling fan in the face last night yet again. Said, fuck you. He put him on a dark segment before the show. It's sad. You see the crowd. New York is a late arriving crowd. For those of you that don't know how New York does business, even Broadway shows, especially the first 10 rows, all the elites, they're late to show up. There was empty seats while LA Knight was in Madison Square Garden. Empty seats. People have not even arrived for the show. And LA Knight is out there with Hit Row. The jobbers of jobbers. Michael Cole can't stand them. Put in a bad word, obviously. Hit Row is going nowhere. Nowhere fast. LA Knight wasn't even on SmackDown, so they could fit room for Charlie Flair, Austin Theory, and Roman for 45 minutes. All the people they want to push. Roman, okay, and I'll get to that storyline, by the way. Austin Theory and Charlie Flair are failed experiments! If that hurts those words, I don't know what else to tell you. Charlie Flair is not in the top 5, barely hits top 10 in merchandise sales, and they've been pushing her for 8 years. Austin Theory has been a U.S. champion and has been being pushed from the beginning, and he is nowhere near top 5 or 10 in merchandise sales. They get no fucking reaction. If Charlie goes away for 3 or 4 months and comes back, that's an initial pop, and then she's booed. She was booed last night again in New York, and she came back as a face just a few weeks ago. Same thing happened when she returned in Tampa Bay to a big pop, and within 2 weeks she was booed. Within 4 weeks she was begging, almost crying, for us to stop booing because she has something she needs to say. But these motherfuckers, they do not. Oh, I appreciate the banger bombs, the truth bombs in the chat, by the way. I appreciate them, but I'm not even close to done, unit. I got a fresh coffee, and I'm fucking raring to go, man, because what's happening to LA Knight is a fucking travesty, and it's happened too many times in this fucking company. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. So you have Austin Theory, and this is not even shade to Austin Theory or Ashley Flair, Charlotte Flair, right? It's not even shade. There's no connection. It's not fun. I don't know what else to say. How else to say this? For the majority of wrestling fans, it's not fun when Austin Theory comes to the ring. It's not fun when Charlotte Flair comes to the ring. Is that a better way to maybe put it to these fucking numbnuts? It's not fun. Nothing is happening reaction-wise. But they refuse to stop pushing them. They could be selling more merch. They don't care about the merch anyways. Let's be honest. They're making record revenue from streaming services in countries like Saudi Arabia and fucking TV rights deals. They don't care about t-shirts. They'll sell you one and give you another for $1 or maybe free. But just look at the fucking merch. You have a fucking guy like L.A. Knight who this company, Paul Levesque, refuses to put on pay-per-views. WrestleMania, he was the most over in LA and he was left off the card. When asked why, LA Knight goes, I don't know. I truly don't know. I try not to think about it. He was left off WrestleMania. The next pay-per-view, Puerto Rico Backlash, he was left off the card again. 2 pay-per-views in a row. Why would you leave the hottest superstar you got right there with Cody Rhodes? And Sethington in his sing-along, I get it. I leave Sethington off because before the sing-along, he was not getting that good of a reaction. So you have him off of Backlash and WrestleMania. And guys, it wasn't even done. The 3rd straight month, PLE, he was left off of Night of Champions. 3 pay-per-view PLEs in a row. One of the hottest organically over stars is purposely left off the card. He finally gets on Money in the Bank because they're just filling it with a bunch of fucking weird names. Logan Paul, fucking Butch. What the fuck is a Butch? Why is a Butch in Money in the Bank? He reminds me of a guy fucking back in the day. P.D. Dunne was his name. Pete Dunne. Good wrestler back in the day. But this fucking Butch is a knockoff version. Butch is in Money in the Bank. With fucking Rico shit. And I don't even know who else. Damian Priest, the lost member of Judgment Day. They put him in Money in the Bank. What a consolation prize. They chokeslam him off the ladder, and you watch as Damian collect it. And people honestly believed H when he says, good things come to those that wait. Well, Madison Square Garden, bro. New York with the most over guy right now in wrestling. Just put him on the show. You got an Austin Theory segment. You got a Charlotte Flair segment. You can't fit in the most over guy. This is done purposely. This is no longer just, they had to take something out, BC, because of X, Y reason. Oh, BC, it's something planned in the future, man. This is purposely being done. 3 pay-per-views in a row. Guys, they tried to cool him off. Don't you understand what they're doing? They've done it for years in this company. They're intentionally, consciously trying to cool off LA Knight. And it didn't work. So he gets chucked in Money in the Bank. He loses, and they keep him off of New York City's SmackDown. That's purposely. But they wanted to shut New York up. They didn't want you to go LA Knight all night. So you know what they did? They put up out LA Knight before the show. So that New York City could get their fix of LA Knight before the show to shut everybody up. That's what the company did. I'm not telling you guys what I believe happened. This is now a trend. If LA Knight was just kept off a show or even 2, okay. It's a botch times 2, but okay. Are you understanding the trend? This isn't helping him. BC, I think but by losing and having him face adversity and struggle, he's going to get even more over, BC. That's what Paul Levesque is doing. Paul Levesque isn't even putting him on the show! So you're attending to the IWC, but what about the fucking casuals? What about the people that are going to latch onto the headlines? That's what happened for Stone Cold after King of the Ring. Everybody was like, all right, this dude, he's a winner. It's not just we like him, so we give him a pop. He's a winner. He just won King of the Ring. Daniel Bryan just won the title at Mania. Hogan just slammed Andre and won. That's why we finally can get behind them fully, because we look at them as winners. LA Knight is getting fruit roll-up by Xavier Woods 3 times, left off of 3 straight pay-per-views, and kept off of New York City SmackDown. Paul Levesque, Vincent Kennedy, and WWE is sabotaging LA Knight. That's not a conspiracy. It's in front of your fucking eyes. You know what this does? Is it's a ripple effect. A trend is a trend for a reason. A trend is something that keeps happening, right? 28 days from tonight is SummerSlam. 28 days away is SummerSlam. And LA Knight currently isn't even being booked. So you're sabotaging me, even if next week, right, if they heard the wrestling world's rants, if everybody just started standing the fuck up and being vocal about this, right, and they finally changed it, and next week on SmackDown, LA Knight starts a program for SummerSlam, you're only giving him 3 weeks to build. You're sabotaging him. Good things come to those that wait. Papa H. Paul Levesque McMahon actually said those words. Sit on the sideline. I gave you your name back, LA Knight. Now sit the fuck down. That should be good enough. Speak when spoken to. You should be seen but not heard. In Paul Levesque McMahon's case, you shouldn't even be seen. Every which way you look at this, LA Knight is being cooled off. The reaction that he's somehow getting, I guess that's IWC. I guess that's just us in the know. Because it's gonna cool off. There's no way around it. They're gonna go to these towns where they're not gonna see LA Knight on TV for weeks. How sad is that, bro? Even if you claim you don't like BC, but you watch all of these fucking podcasts, you listen to all the podcasts, but you say, I don't like Baszler, but I'm going to listen to this. Even if you claim you don't like me, You know this sucks. This is not good, and it's wrong, and every word I'm speaking is truth. LA Knight is the number 3 in merchandise now. He overtook the 4th spot. I may have said 4th earlier. He's in the 3rd. He overtook Stone Cold for 4th of July weekend. And he's doing it without any pay-per-views or even showing up. Or he's showing up. He's not being put on the fucking cards. Dark segment with Hit Row before SmackDown. And this guy by himself with no help from the company. No help. Got to number 3 on the merchandise. He's right behind Roman and Cody. But we'll keep him off of SmackDown in New York City 28 days before SummerSlam. Chat, unit, can you fucking believe this? Like, the more I'm speaking this to you guys, to the hundreds live and the thousands that'll catch this later, the more I'm saying this, I can't believe this is okay. And Schnoz has the fucking audacity, not the balls. Those are firmly planted in Stephanie's purse. But Paul Levesque McMahon has the audacity, after all these botches, to show up in this media center, copying Tony Khan from All Elite Wrestling, by the way, and having these media scrums all of a sudden. And he's going to say there's more story to tell with Cody when there's clearly not. They've literally gone in separate directions. If they ever cross paths, it's a whole nother book, a whole completely different story. You just totally screwed Cody. That's what you did. And then LA Knight gets totally screwed. He has been from day one. And we get told good things come to those that wait, like we're fucking toddler. Like LA Knight is a toddler, one of Levesque's kids. This is what we get told by Triple H from his words, right? Vince isn't there as a puppet master, like holding his arms and fucking moving Triple H's mouth. This is Paul Levesque telling you, I made these calls, and this is why, and why not to panic. Meanwhile, we the fans have to watch, as much as we respect him, Damian Priest every Monday night walk out with a fucking briefcase to a meh reaction and act like he's going to cash in every Monday night. And we're supposed to go, oh, it's Damian. It's Damian. He's going to catch out that. Damian's going to win a world title. Who's doing that? Who the fuck is balls to the wall for Damian Priest cashing in a Money in the Bank? They had a chance to put it on an over guy like LA, where it would be fun for the fans, right? We'd be excited every time the music hits. LA Knight. And we're pumped. No. We don't do that shit. We want to say fuck you to the fans. We want to stay pushing people that don't push merchandise, that don't make a connection, like Austin Theory, Charlotte Flair. We're going to stay with what we've been doing for years. I understand you guys like these people. We're going to keep them off the show. They didn't even use LA Knight last night. They cooled him the fuck down. You know what they're doing? They're shutting down LA Knight. They're shutting him down. Nothing that happens next Friday will even do him justice for SummerSlam. He'll only have 3 weeks. They should have started Madison Square Garden. They should have started months ago. At least Money in the Bank. New York City, 4 weeks from SummerSlam, and they didn't even put it. They didn't have the respect. Whether they look at merchandise as money or not, he's making those merchandise sales for that company. And the shirt just fucking came out this weekend. He's making that money, and they say, fuck you, you're not even showing up to NYC SmackDown. You're going to be in a pre-tape set. You're going to be in a dark segment before the event. That is total, utter disrespect to Eli Drake, LA Knight. He couldn't even perform on the show in NYC for SmackDown. And they got him with Hit Row. So you can't even say they're like setting something big up and they're trying it out, BC. Do you guys know what happened after Money in the Bank? The night after they had a live event, do you guys know that Rey Mysterio defeated him? Rey Mysterio beat LA Knight at a live event 24 hours after Money in the Bank. This week, he wasn't even in New York City's on the New York City Smackdown show. He was put out before with Hit Row. They have nothing for SummerSlam for LA Knight. And even if they hear these battle cries, even if they hear these rants, if we all finally had enough and step up and voice out our displeasure to Paul Levesque McMahon, even if he'll only have 3 weeks to try to get us, especially the casuals, invested into a feud. Real quick, I got to give a shout out over to D Brown. Welcome to AMP Unit Gold status, channel membership. D Brown, I appreciate all my gold card members. That's everybody with a gold card in the chat right now. Green name with that gold card. That is my frontline unit right there, man. My amplified unit member. So D Brown, I want to give you a proper salute. Welcome to the amplified unit, man. It's going to be a rocky ride, and that's the way we like it. D Brown, salute. So you have LA Knight off the fucking show in a dark match pre-show segment. So Charlie Flair, Austin Theory, who they want to push is out there. Guys, this is a fucking travesty, man. I was really hoping something big for SummerSlam, man. I don't know what the consolation prize would be. I got to a point where I never lower my bar. I never do. I feel like it got lowered just a little bit when I said, you know what, then just have LA Knight defeat Austin Theory for the U.S. title at SummerSlam. Just do that shit. U.S. title, get it the fuck off of Austin Theory, because it's a failed experiment, and put it on the white hot LA Knight. And they couldn't even do that last night. They couldn't even get that jump started, so we have at least a month to give a shit. They couldn't even do that. Couldn't even do a U.S. title victory, guys. A U.S. title match. Couldn't even do the fucking U.S. title angle. Maybe next week, basically. Oh, when there's only 21 days before SummerSlam? That'll get the wrestling world intrigued for Austin versus L.A. Remember, for 6 months, Mr. Big 200, WWE is run by a bunch of dummies. Yeah, personified. Mr. Big 200, I appreciate the membership, dude. I couldn't believe that SmackDown went off the air. Guys, there was a moment where Edge was taking on Greyson Waller, and there's too much time. There's no way Edge was going 25 minutes. And I said, okay, maybe they'll plan something. They heard our fucking battle cries. They heard our rants from Money in the Bank. There's going to be something maybe big for LA Knight at the end of the night. No, they just saved that for fucking Jay to come back to the arena. So evidently, the ambulance drove him back, or he got an Uber or a Lyft back to the arena, and somehow the Uber drops him off up in the bleachers. Somehow the Uber went all the way to the fucking nosebleeds because Jay's coming back in the nosebleeds. Where the fuck was the Uber going? Is there not a ground level entrance for the superstars? Jay's coming back from the fucking rafters. Where was the hospital? Fucking Neptune? That made no fucking sense. So anyway, you got Jay coming back, and I'm like, well, that's great. Where the fuck is LA Knight? Did anybody see LA Knight at the fucking hospital? Because his momentum is fucking dead. Now, this is one of those things where I have to go, right? For new subscribers or people just catching the channel. Wow, does he really take wrestling this seriously? First of all, you're on a podcast. I'm supposed to entertain, right? So I'm going to turn the volume to 1,000 plus. So just relax and be entertained, first of all. It'd be pretty boring if I'm just talking about SmackDown. Wow, did you guys realize LA Knight wasn't on the show? Anyway, let's start the show. No, that's fucking boring. Stop. Nor would I want to do a show like that. But take the entertainment factor away from what I'm doing, all right? And amplifying the conversation. And of course, I would not walk into a Starbucks and start power bombing baristas because I didn't get my pro wrestling way last night. Of course not. Stop. But just because I'm entertaining you, don't think for 1 second this isn't actually frustrating. Because it affects us, the fans, man, not just LA Knight. we get an opportunity to finally have some fun shit with a guy who we actually enjoy. If they just give him some creative booking, this is going to be a fun part of every show going forward. Instead, they won't even use him. So we get deprived of something good. And in its place, Austin Theory, for another week, will try to get over. And we'll all be nice on social with 140 characters. I like Austin. Just give him more time, guys. Austin, I feel, is finally getting the hang of this, guys. Could have fooled me. Could not be more bored than when Austin Theory is in the ring. Cutting a promo, having a match, fucking playing Thumb Wars, whether he's playing in traffic, deciding for 3 hours if he should get whole milk or fucking reduced 2% milk. I don't give a fuck what Austin Theory is doing. It's boring. Am I the only one that's going to finally just admit it? No, LA Knight can't be on because Charlotte's got to have a segment basically. She has nothing to do. All we want is Io versus Asuka. Set it up. Set it up and let the dominoes fall. Let the bodies hit the floor. 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 Io, Asuka. No. Charlotte, go out there and let's muddy the waters, man. New York needs their fix of Charlie Flair. What should be really cool, Io teasing in on Asuka. No, Charlie's out. Who was standing tall last night, guys? I'm going to go over the review. This is still my cold open. It's going to be about an hour cold open. I haven't even reviewed SmackDown yet, but wait till you hear who was the last woman standing. Bayley's out there, Asuka, Bianca, everybody is out there. Io, wait till you hear who WWE had standing tall when it was all said and done, beating everyone up. You are going to believe it, actually. It's WWE. So even though I'm entertaining you guys and raising my voice to an amplified level, right, and I'm very fucking animated, don't think for 1 second this is just an act. I'm actually furious that this company doesn't allow the fans to have the utmost fun that they should be having with people like LA Knight at the forefront. And they just continue to push who they want, who they've decided is who they want on their posters. Austin Theory, he's the next John Cena, we were told. Doesn't he have the look? I want him on the trucks. Charlotte Flair, she's the blue-eyed, blonde-haired bombshell. Everybody needs the blonde bombshell. Put her on the poster. Roman, it's the extension of The Rock's bloodline. But what about the guy that gets super over like LA Knight? No, we're going to keep him off all the pay-per-views. Money in the Bank, again, he was tossed on there as a consolation prize because they were already putting people like Butch. WrestleMania, he was not on it. Backlash, Night of Champions, and it looks like SummerSlam. He cannot get a spot on the fucking card. Madison Square Garden, New York City, 28 days before SummerSlam, and they kept him off the show. That is called cooling the individual down. That is called shutting the talent down. I hope you guys don't get this twisted. What happened to LA Knight last night in New York was Paul Levesque's final nail in the coffin. They shut down LA Knight last night. It already was in the process. They cooled it, and last night was the shutdown. A lot of people pumped up to see LA Knight in New York City for SmackDown, starting something with at least 4 weeks to go before SummerSlam, and they got shafted. I hope you guys understand that's what happened. That's not over-embellishing. That's not being over-dramatic, over-animated on it. That's what happened. They shut down LA Knight. The IWC, right? We, the smart fans, we can continue to cheer, right? Everybody else, when you don't see somebody for weeks, you think it's just them not showing up. There's something wrong. You move on, right? So when LA Knight does show up, less people are going to care. That's psychology 101, right? That's literal psychology. Out of sight, out of mind is an old saying in psychology. It's funny how the mind works. Out of sight, out of mind. It's what I tell you guys about FOMO, right? And why ratings matter, right? AEW, WWE, ratings matter because when enough people have stopped watching your show and they're no longer tuning in, after a few weeks, they have no more FOMO, no more fear of missing out. So they're like, wait, I can miss this show, save a couple hours of my primetime night, and nothing really changes. Nothing happens on the show drastic. I don't feel like I missed anything because I didn't. I don't have to watch next week either. Out of sight, out of mind. LA Knight right now, H knows this. Paul Levesque McMahon knows if we keep LA Knight suppressed, not only just give him adversity and struggle in his booking, but literally don't even put him on the shows, we're going to shut him down. Somebody like LA Knight, they fear people like that. Vince McMahon hates people who he did not create, and Paul Levesque hates people that don't look at him as a father figure. Papa H is the term in NXT. That's a very real term. Fans got wind of that, now we say Papa H. But that was a real term that was used in NXT. Papa H. LA Knight, Eli Drake never, I mean, the guy's 40 years old anyway, so of course he wouldn't, but guys like him and Cody Rhodes, they never viewed Paul Levesque as Papa H. They never did. They put themselves on equal footing. Levesque hates that. Levesque is going to humble your ass down like he did Sting at Mania. Booker T fucking took out the shovel 3 different times for Booker T. Refused. Was in Vince McMahon's ear left and right to make sure Booker T never got over. And he still did. Booker T was so special, he got himself over. He took a shitty King Booker gimmick and he made it special without the proper booking. That wasn't actually Vince. That was Paul Levesque pleading, begging, demanding Vince does not push him. True story, by the way. I can spend an hour on that. I have a lot of facts to back that up. Paul Levesque and his golden shovel. He does not want LA Knight going over. Neither does Vince, right? Let's hold everybody accountable here. Vince wanted him Max Dupree because he was 40 years old. So Vince is nowhere near off the hook. But when you have a guy like Paul Levesque, who after every pay-per-view looks right at the camera and all the media, and he says, this is the show I put out for you. This is what happens next. This is reason not to panic. These are what I can tell you about what you liked and didn't like. That's Paul Levesque. For all these months, I would have hoped LA Knight would get something better than what he's getting now. Or else Paul Levesque has no business even being an enabler to Vince. He needs to be removed immediately if that's the case. No, everybody is going to be held accountable. They can't stand people like LA Knight. Because they get it, they get over. And if they get bigger than the company, or as they feel they get bigger than the company, that's a no-no. Because look what Hulk Hogan did when he got bigger than the company and all the lawsuits and the steroid trial. Oh, look what Stone Cold did. He took his ball and he went home. Look what CM Punk did in the lawsuits. The Ultimate Warrior demanding money before he goes out there and does SummerSlam with Hogan and Sid Justice and Slaughter. The second he got back, Vince had the Fire Warrior. They don't like when stars get over organically. Daniel Bryan, they tried suppressing. You know what happened? We wouldn't fucking give in. And they finally had to do the yes movement. But at least Vince finally caved in back then. At least he did. The original idea was not for Stone Cold to win King of the Ring years ago. Vince finally said at the last minute, we got to do it, man. We got to. I mean, this guy's getting over. So why the fuck does Paul Levesque not see what that title could have done for Cody at Mania? Why the fuck does Paul Levesque not see what LA Knight could have and should be doing for this company? Paul Levesque has a very odd way to book this shit, and it's hurting the company, the talent, and the fans. And my amplified unit, that's almost 50 minutes, and that is your cold open. Now we can get the review started for SmackDown. I don't think I'm done talking about LA Knight. Yeah. But you never know. But I have a lot of amplification that I need to get to for other topics. Like Charlie Flair being the last one standing in that women's segment last night. Or Austin Theory in the way he retained against Sheamus last night. Or the 45-minute Bloodline segment. Or Greyson Waller losing his debut. But basically, it was with a legend. Okay. Never said it wasn't. I'll say this again. Greyson Waller lost his debut last night. Like, Carmelo. Did that not just happen? Did Carmelo just fucking lose on Raw last week? 2 weeks ago? So it's a trend. NXT stars, just come on up and get your asses whooped. As you can see, I have a lot more to be amplified about with this show, so I do want to get going on this. Smackdown 7/7/23, July 7th, 2023. This again, for those of you just tuning in, man, this is your Amped Up podcast with BC Amplified for Saturday, July the 8th. I wasn't able to put up an Amped Up podcast the last 2 days, man. July 4th, I was able to put up the Raw review to you guys, and then I had to go out of state to attend to a lot of business. So there was no way I could even put out an audio podcast only. There was just no time. So I'm glad I can do this live for you guys, man, on this Saturday morning / afternoon. The trial of Roman Reigns started the show. Now, first of all, here comes positive BC for a second for everybody that says I'm so negative and harsh. Here's positive BC. First of all, I love when they start with a fucking story. Listen, you got 2 hours for wrestling, okay? Today's fan, for some reason, wants to see wrestling all the time. I just want a 27-minute banger, basically. BC, I would like to have a 31-minute clanger. BC, I want to see wrestler A versus wrestler B in their underwear do sequences and choreographed moves. No, what I want is larger-than-life characters and storylines I give a fuck about. Then I'd gladly hand you my fucking money at the pay-per-view premium live event, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Disco Ball Blast Night. I don't care what you call this shit. I'll give you that shit so I can see the storyline culminate. That's what used to make wrestling fun. Today's wrestling fan has their fucking underwear in a bunch. They got one hand with their fucking phone in 140 characters, trying to tell everybody their wrestling opinions while the show is happening. And in their other hand, it's either in the Dorito bag or it's down their fucking crunched up underwear. And they can't wait to see wrestling action. No. If I looked at first like a wrestling nerd, you came to the wrong channel. We're not going to nerd out with pro wrestling. We want it to get really, really good again. We need larger-than-life characters and storylines we give a shit about so we can want to give you money to see the feuds culminate. It's a simple process. Pro wrestling is very simplistic at the core of the foundation it was built upon. You just got to meet it at the core of the foundation that it was built upon. Wrestling fans in 2023 acting like it's so territorial. Right? Everyone's got their tribalism. They plant their flags. They sport their company. And they say, we're different than everyone else. We're wrestling. So no, I'm not going to shit on how we started the show. We started with a storyline. And a good one, too, by the way. Nothing that Roman needs the title for, but it's a storyline. And a good one. Now, what proceeded to happen was a 45-minute segment over the course of 3 commercial breaks. Even when we came back after 40 minutes, Jimmy Uso being loaded into an ambulance, extending it to nearly 45 minutes. And you think I'm going to rip that apart? I am not. Salute. If you're going to deliver 45 minutes, do I wish it was better produced? Do I wish there was more to the 45 minutes? No question. But I'm okay with delivering a 45-minute storyline segment, no wrestling. I'm actually okay with it. You got the everybody's talking about who's going to get the lay, right? That big tribal prestigious lay. And I'm going to give it to you, Jay. I don't want this anymore, says Roman. He chucks the title to the side. He goes to put it onto Jay. He puts it on the Jay. He gets down onto his knees to salute him. And he gives him a low blow. And the whole time, Paul Heyman is in tears, by the way. Roman Reigns was in tears. So this was beautifully done by everybody. Jay looked actually heartfelt confused as to what's going on right now. He doesn't want to break up the family. Everybody played their role beautifully, but I'm not shocked. This whole bloodline story has been flawless from day one, which, by the way, was in 2020, starting with Jay and Roman. You guys remember? It started with those two. Jimmy was off with, I believe, Naomi. Trinity fought too. They were off for a little bit. And Jay and Roman took it to another gear. I think in 2020, they had the I Quit Hell in a Cell match. So we've already seen them. But it's like full circle. It's a culmination of 2-3 years now. So everything that they're doing is flawless. And last night, same thing. Would I have added more to a 45-minute segment? Absolutely. Absolutely, I would have. 45 minutes, man. We should be talking about a lot more that happened. But their expressions, their mannerisms, the way they went about that first half of it, fucking beautifully done. Paul's in tears, Roman's in tears, low blow to Jay after he was laid and became new tribal chief. No. And then Roman starts talking that shit. You thought I was ever going to give you this? They tie up Jimmy or Jay. One of them's tied up. I think it was Jay's tied up in the ropes. Why they annihilate Jimmy. They write him off TV. But a lot of that 45 minutes, man, there was a lot of time where they were just like hitting each other. Like it was sloppy, right? Usos have the momentum, and then all of a sudden Roman jumps in, and then Solo's laying everybody out, and then Jimmy and Jay come back, and then Roman helps them out, and then in the outside, finally they're taken out, and then Jay somehow escapes the ropes, and Jay's in control, and then Roman's got to shut him down, and then Solo splashes him. There was a little bit too much physicality, if you could believe it. It was too unorganized. But a 45-minute segment to a storyline that's going to culminate at your SummerSlam, one of your main events. I got no fucking problem with that, man. Would I have made it better? Could it have been better? No question. It's 45 minutes. But I'll take that. And this is going to be an unpopular take. I don't give a fuck. If wrestling was amazing right now, ratings through the roof, interest was at an all-time high, then I would say my take is in the minority. But I know there's a lot of people like BC. I will take feeling something again, having an emotional take on something over just a wrestling match any day of the week, any show. I can watch amazing wrestling at the local bingo hall 3 times a day. But great storyline with individuals that I'm interested in. That's going to hopefully lead to something amazing. That is priceless. That is pro wrestling. And unfortunately, fans today, they just want dream matches. And they're just dream matches like within the last few years, right? They have to see these. I gotta see Carmelo versus AJ Styles. It's a dream match. Is it, or is it just a good match? Honestly, Shinsuke versus Wes Lee. It's gonna be a dream match. Is it, or is that just a good match with some good sequences? Vikingo versus Omega is a dream match. Is it, or is it just a good match? Fans will lose a nut to see straight wrestling matches. Like it's like not choreographed. Like it's not predetermined, not rehearsed. Like it's a real fucking sport and they just need to see who's going to be the better man. It's a fucking storyline. There has to be reason to pro wrestling. Some people are complaining that it took too long. Some people are complaining they didn't have 45 minutes of professional wrestling action. Tough shit. I don't know what to tell you. Do you know what the highest rated segment every Friday night is, guys? Bloodline. Bloodline. You know, the story, the one story in WWE, highest rated. I know I'm not in the minority. I know that there's a lot of wrestling fans like BC that are craving stories. and wanting to care again about wrestlers. Unit, I'm sorry, I'm going to sound like a broken record. I say this a million times. But anybody who's been watching wrestling, you fell in love with it. Why? Not just storylines, but characters when they came through the curtain. When their music hit, you gave a fuck, right? Whether it was Hogan, Warrior, Savage, Triple H when he was a wrestler, Stone Cold, The Rock, Edge, Chris Jericho, Batista, Randy Orton. You gave a fuck, right? Their music hit. They weren't even through the curtain yet, guys, and you were already on your feet cheering or booing or whatever the fuck. But you were on your feet. They didn't even come out through the curtain. Their music just hit. If I could tell you what happened when Hogan's music hit before he came out, or Stone Cold, or The Undertaker, you wouldn't believe me if you were never there live. Goosebumps off your dumb body. Today, who the fuck are you getting like that? Guys we respect that maybe should be, maybe. AJ Styles? Nope. Drew McIntyre? Nope. Sheamus? Nope. They won't allow LA Knight. Cody Rhodes? One of the best reactions with sing-along Sethington. But nobody else. Nobody gives you that fucking feeling. I know. I'm as pissed off as you are. Sign guy is outraged right now. Sign guy is flipping the fuck out. He almost passed the fuck out. Are you gonna fucking be alright? You want some fucking water? Here, have some fucking water. Get some fucking water. Here. Get some fucking water. Sign guy's passing out. Are we still on air? Oh, we are on air. There you go. Here, give Sign Guy some love. Sign Guy is trying to get the fuck out. No, you're going to stay for this whole fucking review because it needs to be talked about. Where are the larger-than-life stars? Where are they? You guys, if you come up with a name, it's probably from the Attitude Era. You're probably going to say, like, Edge. Randy Orton, Beasley. Nobody gives you a feeling anymore, man. Their music hits and you're like, yeah, golf clap. Drew McIntyre. Yeah, I like Drew. Do you like Drew? I like Damian. I know he's a heel, but he got a briefcase. It should be. I'm glad for him. Instead of just saying the truth, Damian Priest with a briefcase is boring AF. It's mid AF. Instead, we gotta go, I like Damian, though. There's potential. Guys, I like Damian. Let's see where this goes. Right? We have to play the nice game. I like Austin Theory. I think there's potential. Let's see where the U.S. title goes. How about we don't put titles and briefcases on people that are not yet over? The reason Stone Cold got the King of the Ring back in the day is he was already over. Daniel Bryan got the world title at WrestleMania 30. He was super over. It's taking them to the next level. You don't put this shit on people that are not over, hoping that this accessory will get them over. You think having a briefcase is going to get Damian over? A United States title didn't even get Sethington over. Do you guys remember he was a U.S. title holder? Nobody cared. People were saying it's so fucking boring. Ratings were nosediving during Sethington's U.S. title matches. He's not over because he has a participation title now. He's over because of a sing-along. The family of Bloodline doesn't even give a fuck about the title. It's about that lay. It's about what's around Roman's neck. That's more important, the way Solo was holding that. Not the title. A storyline doesn't need a title. Nobody needs a title. A title should go on those that deserve to have that. Deserve not by the work they're putting in, but by the reaction they're getting, the momentum that is caught in the bottle with the lightning. So we put briefcase on people like Damian. I don't even know where this rant was even going. Oh, larger than life characters. And Cove 1984, you are absolutely correct, by the way. The music is fucking generic as fuck. It's beyond generic. Lost my screen. Hold on, guys. I think I got too amplified on the fucking screen, too. There we go. I'm back. I think that was Code 9 in 1984. The music is generic these days. You're absolutely correct, by the way. Man, when you heard Hogan's music, dun, dun, when it comes crushing down, Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker, even Paul Levesque, McMahon, Triple H, the music was so identifiable. When Randy Orton had Evolution's theme song, man, I was so behind Orton. When Orton got the theme change, he actually lost a lot of spunk from BC, man. It's amazing what a good theme song can do. Today, you want the truth? I don't know half their theme music, guys. I could not tell you after the beginning of a Ricochet theme song. I don't know. Butch and Ridge Holland, I don't know. Are they just sharing Sheamus's? Pretty Deadly, I don't know their theme song. I couldn't tell you Greyson Waller's. I couldn't tell you Ridge Holland's. I couldn't tell you Drew Gulak's. I couldn't tell you Ninja Tozawa's. I couldn't tell you... I can't even think of Judgment Days right now, and they're all over Monday Night Raw. It's forgettable. So anyway, let's wrap up this first segment. My point is, I'm okay with this. Draw out tell a fucking story. Make us want to see the pay-per-view. Now, SummerSlam, I don't know how many of you guys are looking forward to Jay and Roman. I love the storyline. I don't need to see them main event SummerSlam. I'm not going to lie to you. And I have been an Usos fan. They are my favorite tag team. And I'm so glad that they have this storyline and all of it. Do I need to see Jey Uso going for the title at SummerSlam in the main event? That's not probably what I would think of for the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. You went from Cesaro to Big E Langston to Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, and so many others to get to Jey Uso at SummerSlam. It's not like it's Backlash or Vengeance or Payback. It's SummerSlam. And I'm seeing a match that I saw many times in the past. Once was as high as you can go. Hell in a Cell I Quit match in 2020. How do you top that? So it's full circle, but I can't blame anybody that says, BC, I don't know about this fucking Jay main eventing with Roman shit. I can see where you're coming from. I can just speak on this segment. 45 minutes over 3 commercials and really 3 different segments into one. They put off the wrestling and they gave us a story. And I'll watch that. And I was more captivated about that, guys, than Sheamus versus Austin Theory for the title that was next. I was more captivated about that than Edge and Greyson Waller later in the night. I was more captivated by that than anything that Monday Night Raw had previously. And what was Monday Night Raw? Let's just look at it if you don't mind. Cody Rhodes and... who was wrestling? Who the fuck was on it? Baszler and Rousey. No, that wasn't even a match. Was there a match? Tag Team Turmoil. No, I'll take the storyline over Tag Team Turmoil. 6-man schmaz. Viking Raiders and Van Halen and Alpha Academy. No, I'll take the storyline. Rhea Ripley versus Natty was actually good. I'll take the storyline. Give me the story and make me pay that money to see it at the pay-per-view premium live. James Miller Doink the Clown drew emotion. When you heard Doink the Clown's music, you knew somebody was... Crush is going to get hit over the head with a fucking fake arm. Anybody remember that? Somebody was going to get the toxic poison to the eye from his flower. When Doink came out, fun was to be had. And faces were going to get fucked up. You want to know what's funny, James Miller and so many others? I would take Doink the Clown today than anybody else. Doink the Clown. Because he makes me feel an emotion, right? MJF said it best many months ago. I don't have to put my body or career or life on the line for you people. I don't got to do the hurricanranas, the suicide dives, jumping over the top rope. I don't have to have bangers and clangers. I make you feel something when I come out. And MJF, whether you love AEW or not, or like it, or don't like it, or like MJF, I get it. But MJF told nothing but facts. When MJF comes out, you feel something. You love the dude, you hate the dude, you want to see the dude do whatever he's going to do. It makes you feel something. Nobody does that, man. Not even Drew McIntyre. He just came back. We like Drew. We respect Drew. Drew McIntyre is doing the same thing he did before he left. He's right back with Gunther going for an IC mid-card title. How the fuck does anybody care about Drew McIntyre? Stop. I would mention Bob Lashley. He's been off and nobody even notices. How sad. How long has Bob Lashley been up in here? JR9 Gaming. Are you up in the chat, man? My right-hand man, or anybody that wants to answer this. Bob Lashley's been back for years. Bobby Lashley should have been something epic if given proper booking. Instead, Bobby Lashley, people don't even realize he's been gone. Has he been gone, or is he just irrelevant? I'm questioning. I'm questioning if he's even been gone. JR9 says 57 days gone, by the way. JR9 is on the fucking days, bro. Much love and respect. JR9, I appreciate that. 57 days. 2 months he's been gone. You probably didn't even realize it. Didn't even realize it. You know, yeah, 2018 he came back. Is that what you guys are saying? 2018, Bobby Lashley came back. Afterthought. Drew McIntyre? Afterthought. He won a title during the Cove WrestleMania, and they didn't know what to do with it afterwards. Just like Kofi Kingston got screwed. Kofi Mania was a real thing. I loved it. I'm glad they put the title on him. That's what you do. You wouldn't have Kofi Mania end with him not winning the title, like Cody should have won the title at Mania, and LA Knight should have won Money in the Bank. No, you have Cody win, and then it's up to you, the company, to give him something. The fans didn't get fickle with Kofi. That's one thing the fans did not get fickle with. Booking failed him miserably like they did Big E. Nobody's larger than life. There's no storylines. It's just weird wrestling matches that have no rhyme or reason. Nobody can care about them. When the match is over, we just go, wow, good match. I'm going to tweet out how this was a banger. Did you guys see? Does anybody know Dave Meltzer's page? I got to see if he gave it 5 stars. Because I think I just witnessed a banger, guys. Did you witness a banger? Because I did. That was a clanger and a half. I'm going to go ahead and give it 4 3/4 of stars. I'm going to give it 4 3/4 stars. Timmy, call me back when you're done with dinner if your ma lets you. I need to know how many stars you gave that. I'm going to be up all night, dude. I'm going to be up all night wondering how many stars everybody's giving this, because I don't even know how many. I might change the stars. In 2023, we watch pro wrestling for the fucking wrestling. I gotta see the moves and the sequences that I've seen 1,000,000 times with the guys I've seen 1,000 times. Listen, I don't mind the wrestling. Give me a purpose. I'll take 45 minutes of storytelling last night in New York City. And by the way, New York is a tough crowd. If you've never been, let me tell you. There was a time period, especially with the New York Knicks, I lived in Madison Square Garden, basically. I went to every game for a while. We won't tell you if something ain't working, bro. The Garden was lit up for 45 straight minutes. Now what I want you to do is go back to the matches and see how New York was responding. Yeah. Storylines still are up here with larger-than-life characters. And guys, it's just as, and in many cases, even more important than the wrestling itself. Don't believe me? Go back to The Ultimate Warrior. Everybody will say he was one of the worst wrestlers of all time. So why was he one of the best? Well, BC, he's one of the worst. How can he be one of the best? Oh, there's nobody ever going to be like the Warrior. But the guy only had 2-minute matches, mostly. Stiff, had about 3 or 4 moves. Larger than life, merchandise pusher and beyond. Millions and millions of dollars, fans acting like they were the Warrior from kids to adults to this very day. Why? He wasn't putting on bangers and clangers. No, people like the Warrior and Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was never a good wrestler. Sequence was 5 moves of doom. Punches, big boot, body slam, leg drop. Why were they so over? First of all, really good theme music. Identifiable, which is something today's wrestlers are lacking. Larger than life, guys. They were larger than life. And they were put in segments, storylines that we had to buy the pay-per-view. Ric Flair versus Macho Man WrestleMania 8, for instance. You remember Macho Man versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8? That was a good wrestling match, but most fans were not going, oh, I can't wait to see the action in this match. The wrestling is going to be amazing. Now you think about those two. Ric Flair, Macho Man at WrestleMania for the world title. Of course it's going to be good wrestling. Do you know what we were talking about going into that? The storyline. We were talking about Miss Elizabeth and how Ric Flair orchestrated this amazing plot to make Randy Savage truly believe that Miss Elizabeth is having an affair with this dude. And Ric Flair got into the mind of Macho Man where it got heated to a level we didn't think we would ever see. And that's the Macho Man. We didn't think it could go to another madness. Macho Man was the shit. Ric Flair played it beautifully. Everything made you. If you were a kid, you were begging, pleading for your parents to buy that pay-per-view. Storylines. Kane, you guys are coming up with some good ones in the chat. Kane Taker. Many of them. You're not going, oh, I can't wait to see what a banger this is going to be, what a clanger. And that's what wrestling somehow became to a lot of fans. Can't wait to see the dream match. They're going to do all these sequences. To each their own, man. If that's what you like, keep getting your shit. BC and a lot of you guys missed the storylines, missed the larger-than-life characters. I know it was 45 minutes. Yes, it could have been a lot better, but I'm so glad they gave it time. And I love how at the end of the show, they wrapped it all up. I always say, start the night with a big story. And if you do it correctly, you keep going back to it during the show, and at the end, you have a cliffhanger with that story. They did it last night. Could it have been better? Yes. But at least they did it. So that's the first segment, 45 minutes, man. And they really want you to get invested into Jay and Roman because it is a rematch. And how much higher can you go from Hell in a Cell, I Quit match? Because that's what Jay and Roman did in 2020. Hell in a Cell, I Quit. How the fuck how do you go higher than that? Orton versus Taker for sure as well, man. LA and Bray I loved. But I don't mind the Supernatural because it's it's character work and it's storytelling. Today's wrestling fans, fuck Supernatural. They say Supernatural is exposing the business and then they go and watch somebody get a Canadian destroyer done to them 7 times. One of those Canadian destroyers from the top rope, 2 Hurricanranas into a senton bomb, 14 super kicks, 7 Batista bombs, 6 pedigrees, 5 riptides, 4 natural selections, 3 buckshot lariats, 2 one-winged angels, and a stone cold stunner, and the son of a bitch will kick out at 2. That's believable, but Supernatural Bray's not believable. A guy just died 75 times in the ring, but he kicked out at 2. Sorry, not sorry, if your version of unbelievable is not mine, or vice versa. Or maybe we can agree that pro wrestling has always been ludicrous. Pro wrestling is wacky. There's nothing like it. It's bonkers. It's batshit. And that's why we love pro wrestling. Stop acting like it's a real sport and we gotta see who the best is. It's not boxing. It is not mixed martial arts. It's not an NFL or an NBA. It is professional wrestling. Stop trying to change its identity. Now, the first match of the night was the U.S. Championship title match. This is challenger Sheamus taking on champion Austin Theory. There's nothing to discuss here. Madison Square Garden, it was an MSG regular. If you ever been to MSG for just a match, that's all they gave this title match. There was times that they were really supporting Sheamus. Yada yada, when it was all said and done, Austin Theory defeats Sheamus via the awe-inspiring. Did you guys go to the supermarket recently? I want you to do me a favor if you bought any fruit. Get your fruit out of the refrigerator. I'll wait a second. And I want you to take that fruit when you get back to the screen, and I want you to chuck it at the fucking screen in the chat right now. Grab your fucking fruit. Grab your fucking fruit and chuck it at the fucking screen right now. Very good. Very good. Okay, so a lot of you motherfuckers did not go to the market recently. I clearly see that. There you go. There's some fucking fruit. Okay, you know what happened? Austin Theory defeated Sheamus via the awe-inspiring, ultra-devastating ROLLUP. The fruit roll-up. Come on! As Shinsuke would say. The fruit roll-up is how Sheamus, big brute, right? This is the barroom brawler, we're told, right? This is why I say booking matters. This is a barroom brawler. A real fighter. So how do you beat him? A guy who's smaller than him, by the way? Just roll him up. Just put your hand between his fucking legs. Drop him instantly, and then once he's down, he's like a turtle on his back. I can't get up. I can't get up, guys. Oh shit! Oh shit! I'm froze. The Iceman, Mortal Kombat. I got froze. Sheamus cannot get his not one shoulder, just a centimeter off the mat. Austin Theory, you know Austin Theory is like 8 foot tall. Austin Theory's 350 pounds. Austin Theory is bigger than Brodus Clay. He's bigger than Andre, bigger than Braun Strowman. He's bigger than the Great Khali and Giant Gonzalez. Bronson Reed, the Earthquake, Typhoon. Austin Theory is a big boy. There's no way if he rolls you up, you can get your shoulder just a centimeter off the canvas. No. Yeah, Mr. Big 200. I love it, in quotes. But he grabbed the tights, Beasley. Michael Cole said he grabbed the tights. Whoa, damn, now I know why his shoulder couldn't get up. The extra leverage. Sheamus was like, whoa, there's a draft in my underwear. I can't get my shoulder up now. This draft feels too tickly. Fuck we talking about? What are we talking about? He grabbed the tights. I don't care if he fucking grabbed the tights, washed the tights, threw the tights in the middle of the road, and the tights got ran over by an 18-wheeler, shredded the tights, restapled the fucking tights, put them back on the fucking tights. I don't give a fuck what happened to the tights. Sheamus losing via fruit roll-up. But that's what this company... I've seen Braun Strowman lose to roll-ups. I've seen guys half his size. Ricochet, I've seen defeat Braun Strowman. Ricochet is a quarter of the size of the Braunson Strowman. I've seen Bobby Lashley. I've seen Omos! We're supposed to look at Omos as a giant. How about getting rolled up? Yeah, that's gonna... I can't imagine why Omos never got over. Guys getting rolled up. Austin Theory in New York City beat Sheamus via a roll-up. I don't mind it, Beasley. I think it was a safe way to let Sheamus save face. These are wrestling fans that use wrestling terminology, but they don't know what it means. I think Sheamus saved face. It was the tights. Pretty Deadly was out there, Beasley. Okay, so was Ridge Holland and Butch. So why wasn't Theory getting rolled up? Doesn't make sense, but whatever. Whatever. Theory keeps the title, and listen afterwards. New York City couldn't give a flying fuck. They could not give a flying fuck. They couldn't care less. And by the way, little side note off of wrestling for a second, then I'll go into hour number 2. That's right, that was hour number 1. It's couldn't care less, guys. I see this too many times, and I don't want to be the grammar police, but 90+% of the time, people say I can care less. I can care less. It's couldn't care less. I cannot care less about this. You got to put the T in there, guys. I couldn't care less. The N and the T, right? Because if you could care less, that's saying, it's bad, but there could be worse. You got to say, I couldn't care less, guys. That means when it comes to this, I could not care less about anything else. This is the worst. Right? So just remember to put the N in the T there. Please, that frustrates me. I can care less. That's basically saying it's not that bad. No, you use that when it's really bad. Like when it comes to Austin Theory and his championship, I couldn't care less. Thank you. I don't want to be fucking grammar police, but for fucking decades, that's what I've been seeing. And I truly believe that people don't know that was the fucking, that's the, you know what I mean? I'm trying to help out the world. Now, guys, that was the end of hour number 1. 45 minutes to the Bloodline segment, and then hour number 1 ends with the Austin Theory winning a match. I mean, you wouldn't even know he was part of the fucking... I forgot about Austin Theory, but we got to put him in New York City, but we're going to leave LA Knight off the show. Oh, I tell you, man. Oh, I tell you. So hour number 2, Greyson Waller effect with Edge. Now, I like this. Greyson Waller finally stepped out, literally in front of his desk as well, but really owned the show. Tell him what you were going to say. He's retiring, everybody. Let's give him a round of applause. And he made this big deal that Edge was retiring. Good deal, actually. Edge really played to New York, how hard it is to gain our approval. I like that, right? And you guys have been watching BC for a lot of you guys years now. It's not easy to please me, and it's not just because I'm such a fucking jerk or such a fucking asshole. It's true. I can be, absolutely. But I want the best. I want my pro wrestling back. I refuse to put my bar any lower than I already had to for these companies. I expect a lot. I am a New Yorker, and I don't apologize. So I like how he said it's hard to please us, and for decades, he's been able to get over with us. It's pretty fucking cool, and we respect him just as much. And they set up a match for later in the night. Now, I didn't understand this. Edge can't lose in MSG, so you're going to have I already knew what was going to happen. Waller's going to have a good match. He's going to lose. And Michael Cole will scream, wow, he may have lost, but he's been put on the map. Like they tried to just do with Carmelo Hayes on Raw. I don't understand why anybody would just take somebody on their debut and just have them lose, but we'll get to that main event. We'll all decide if this was good or bad. But that wasn't here. To start hour 2, this was just to set the match up. Greyson Waller effect. I didn't mind this. This was actually well done. I was entertained. We then go into AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross. This is a rematch of a rematch of a rematch for those of you that tried to forget about it. I'm getting choked up already. We got to talk about this because Kross gets a complete jobber entrance. Karrion Kross and Scarlett, there's something there. There's something there, and Paul Levesque was too quick to cut him loose in NXT. Too quick. And it's clear that he's too quick to cut the leash on him now. and totally push him to the side. There's still more with Cross and Scarlett. That may be an unpopular take. I don't give a fuck. There's still more there. Even if you think he needs all the bells and whistles, that's fine. A lot of wrestlers are bigger because of bells and whistles, but it still works. I don't think that Karrion should have had a jobber entrance last night. And when it was all said and done, this was only a 2-minute match. The commercial before the match, a commercial that was going on while Karrion was doing his entrance, by the way. It wasn't even picture-in-picture. AJ went to the ring. We went to commercial. When we come back, Karrion's getting beat in 2 minutes. The commercial before the match lasted longer than the match. And Cross is defeated via the phenomenal forearm. Good for AJ. AJ's got one of those bookings before he got injured that was like 85% wins over losses. AJ wins a lot more than he loses in WWE. The problem is nobody cares about the booking. There is none. He wins these useless, meaningless, forgettable matches. They don't know how to book them. This is just another 2-minute fucking squash match from a guy who shouldn't be getting squashed and a victory going to AJ that does nothing for AJ. So my point is, this isn't just bitching to bitch. This is literally the stupidest shit you could have done. Let's have you guys go out there for 2 minutes to fill some time. You'll get a jobber entrance and then you'll lose maybe 110 seconds later. Awesome. And I'm not supposed to fucking say this is bullshit. Somebody said in the chat it was a disgrace. Jonathan S. says it was a disgrace. I agree. Oh, then we get to this. Now listen to this. This is where it gets fucking funky here, man. Asuka's in the ring. Good to see Asuka. I'm like, okay, just have Io come out, man. Let's start something fun here, man. Have Io come out. Nope. Bianca Belair hits the ring. Brawls with Asuka. Then here comes Charlie Flair. The reaction from New York, exactly what I thought it was going to be. And here she is. Knew it was coming. Here comes Charlie. Charlie's hitting the ring. They're all brawling. Io, Sky, and Bayley finally hit the ring. Io attacks Asuka with the briefcase, goes to cash in. Belair breaks up the cash in attempt. Charlie Flair is the last one standing in the ring. Charlie Flair to massive boos. Watch and listen to the crowd. They couldn't give a fuck about her. Yet she's the one. Everybody's beat up around her. There's only one female standing tall in New York City, and it's the one nobody gives a fuck about. She's had the most pristine booking for 8 years. 14 titles, not including NXT, just to try to beat her father soon. She'll get 15 at SummerSlam. The one person where there's no connection in 8 years in this company is so damn stubborn. Paul Levesque loves her even more than Vince McMahon. And they had your champion Asuka look like a fucking clown, literally. Io, who just won the briefcase, nowhere to be found. Bianca probably eating popcorn in Section 302 by the time Charlie Flair is smiling at the hard cam. Bayley came in, said hi, fucking saw herself to the door. All this epic talent. And Charlie Flair is once again ending the segment, New York City, with a smile. And she'll be getting the title at SummerSlam. This was simple. Io, Asuka. It's what we all want. It's what New York for sure wanted to see. Charlie Flair, man. They don't know what to do with her outside of a title picture. And even that doesn't work. Fails miserably. Tony Partita, we all did, man. We all did. This is what they do. They'll push Austin Theory. They'll push Charlie Flair. You guys seeing a trend? They push who they want, and they don't care after years. They don't care if it's not working. They're going to shove it down our throat regardless until it does. Not realizing that even Joanna Y had enough. Had to storm into Vince McMahon's office and say, I got to change shit. At least Vince said, okay. Paul Levesque won't change shit. Austin Theory, Charlie Flair, nowhere near top 10 in merchandise, top 5. Sometimes they squeak into the top 10 merchandise sales. Meanwhile, LA Knight just overtook Stone Cold for the top 3, right behind Cody and right behind Roman. And he can't even get on the show. But Austin Theory, we got to fit him in New York City. We got to fit in Charlie. Edge then defeats Greyson Waller in the main event via the spear. Post-match, Edge says on the mic to Waller, "You swam." The whole thing in the Greyson Waller effect, they took BC's line. I always say this. It's time to sink or swim. We got to see what this individual can do. So I always use the term sink or swim. They use that heavily for this. And after the match, Edge shows a sign of respect to Greyson Waller. "You swam." Now, the first problem with this, JR9, Mr. NXT here, right? My right-hand man covers all NXT. That's not Greyson Waller. He's the biggest douchebag, right? I mean, he just disrespected Shawn Michaels as massively as you possibly can do. And he's on his ass getting the respect card from Edge. That doesn't fit Greyson Waller. I can't even watch NXT every Tuesday night to know that's not Greyson Waller. Grayson's like getting the sign of approval from Edge. What are we doing? It doesn't make sense. On top of that, Michael Cole is screaming, and I quote, Michael Cole says, "Greyson Waller is now a major player in WWE." You can't just dictate that. We hope he is. There's so much potential. But you said that about Austin Theory and he gets no reaction. They're still piping in boos. You said that about Charlie. There's no connection. We're legitimately asking her to fucking get out. You can't just anoint these people. We have to feel that and we'll tell you. Michael Cole, he's the next big player because he just hung with Edge for 10 minutes? This was a 10-minute match. Greyson Waller lost to a 50-year-old Edge. Or he's gonna be. I believe Edge turns 50 in October. 3 months. August, September, October. Yeah, 3 months. The guy's 50. I love Edge. I want to see Edge wrestle more, no question. But if we have set the bar so low that all you got to do to be anointed a major player is just hang with Edge for 9 to 10 minutes. 50-year-old Edge. You don't got to win. Just hang with him. And you're special. That's weird. James, I agree. That's so fucking odd. Hang with one of our 50-year-old legends for 10 minutes and you made a name for yourself. JR9 nailed it, bro. Just like Alba and Isla, Katana and Kaden and Indy Hartwell, who I fucking love. I forgot she was even in the fucking match. I blinked she was out on Monday night. They're all losing. But WWE is doing this weird thing. They're doing the respect thing, right? You're going to get over through adversity. Carmelo Hayes loses to Sethington, but man, he gave it his all. He's got a big future to come. Okay, I can let that slide, by the way. I can let that slide. We're going to do it 1 week later with Grayson? You can't overdo it all the time, man. Braun Breaker losing his first fucking match next? Or did? Or Braun Breaker just did. He just lost to Sethington down in NXT. I don't want to see all these big NXT names just losing left and right, man. Makes that place look like a fucking ass clown fucking program they got going on down there in Florida. Michael Cole screaming. What did he say? Michael Cole screaming, "Greyson Waller is now a major player." Edge gets on the mic and says, "You swam tonight, kid." He just lasted 9 to 10 minutes with you, bro, and lost simplistically to a spear. Stop. This booking might get over with some fans. It ain't gonna for those that want to see these people actually start correctly. You put this guy in weird interview segments. The Waller effect is cool, but the last several weeks it's been horrendous. It does not amplify Greyson Waller at all. And then you have him lose his debut. Forgive me not if I'm not buying into Greyson Waller shit right now when I should be. There was enough time at the end of the night for Jey Uso to come back to the arena. I said this in the cold open. Why is he coming from the stands? It's not even a sneak attack. The guy is coming from the nosebleeds. What Uber driver picked him up at the hospital and drove him up the arena to the roof? Why is Jey Uso coming from the nosebleeds? When Michael Cole said he just got dropped off from the hospital. Was he going to get popcorn first? He get lost and take the elevator to the fucking top Humpty floor? They have him oddly coming from the fucking balcony. But this guy said he's coming from the hospital. Did he get helicoptered to the roof? Jay comes back and he beats up on, he whoops that ass on Roman and Solo. And then Jay gets a nice heartfelt promo. This is going to be with me and you, and I'm challenging you, and if you don't accept, I'm going to, I don't know what he was saying. It was good. I love the Usos. And Jay was rocking this out, man. Roman is pissed. Solo's out of the equation at the time. And we go off the air. I love how they had the 45 minutes at the beginning of the show, and then they culminated it with a mini cliffhanger at the end with Roman's big decision, will I accept? Of course he's going to. And then at SummerSlam, that's where you're going to see the rematch. I don't know how higher you can go from a Hell in a Cell I Quit match, which is what happened 3 years ago. I don't know how you're going to top that, how you're going to get a lot of people to be on board with this. But that's what they're looking at as the main event. I tell you, man, Enforcer says he came through the public entrance to illustrate that he had left the building. Well, it doesn't make sense because in New York City, Enforcer, you literally go right through the front and you're already in the arena, man. But he's a talent. He could easily go through the corridor exit of the building itself, like the actual talent concourse. I don't understand why he would even have to. I mean, he couldn't even get in without a ticket, and he would have to go through the talent. I'm nitpicking, right? I just don't know why he's coming from the fucking roof. And that was the show, guys. I love the storyline with the bloodline. He does not need a world champion, a universal title for this. It just amplifies the botch with Cody even more. And Cody's over there fucking wrestling and feuding and brawling with Brockton for a third straight month with no purpose for the story. We still don't know why. But the Bloodline story is the only really good story in WWE. Some would say in all of pro wrestling. So it was good, and they gave it a lot of time. And that's really where it ends, man. I would never have had Greyson Waller lose his debut match. I don't care if it's against Edge or John Cena or anybody. I'm done with this. He's got a rub in the feet, basically. He got a rub. No, that works sometimes. And only here and there. You can't do it too often. They just did it with Carmelo. They just did it with fucking Braun Breaker. And now they're doing it with all the top names in NXT. I would not have had Greyson Waller lose that match. I don't know why AJ Styles and Karrion Kross are having a 2-minute match. I don't know why Karrion is losing a 2-minute match. I don't know why Karrion is getting a jobber entrance. I don't know why Charlie Flair has to be involved with anything with Io and Asuka. So yeah, aside from the bloodline, the decisions that Paul Levesque are making make you want to put your dome piece to a brick fucking wall. And again, I reiterate, no LA Knight. He was put on in a dark match segment with Hit Row, not even a match. He was with Hit Row before SmackDown went live. This isn't even cooling down. This isn't Paul Levesque just cooling down the momentum in the heat. how white hot LA Knight is. He's not cooling him down. Paul Levesque has shut down LA Knight. The second biggest pay-per-view of the year is coming up, SummerSlam. Madison Square Garden. If you're going to have anything for LA Knight, that's the time. Madison Square Garden set something big up. He kept him off the show completely so you'd forget about him. And by next Friday, guys, we'll be 3 weeks away from SummerSlam. You're going to start something up with only 3 weeks. You're sabotaging him. You have shut him down. Why Paul Levesque would do that? He's afraid he's going to get too over. Paul Levesque hated Daniel Bryan's Yes movement. Paul Levesque hated how hot Stone Cold got. He felt that should have been his spot. He hated Daniel Bryan in the Yes movement. He hated Philip CM Punk Brooks with a passion. He hated how over Booker T was. He hated Jeff Hardy. He never understood why Jeff Hardy was cheered so passionately. Paul Levesque is a grimy little bitch. Paul Levesque is petty. Paul Levesque McMahon and his golden shovel have ruined this business on more than one occasion, time after time after time. Major botches in decision-making. And the LA Knight not even being on SmackDown last night. You can never make up for that. You can never make up for that. Very, very, it's not cooling him down anymore. What they've done is they have shut down LA Knight. Enforcer, you don't understand why Jeff Hardy was popular? You probably don't understand a lot about wrestling, my man. You might want to educate yourself a little bit, dude. That's an odd statement. Jeff Hardy was awesome, bro. The fuck? Jeff Hardy was magnificent back in the day. That's a very odd take. Very weird. Anyway, maybe you just really love Paul Levesque. Maybe you're coming to the defense of Paul Levesque, right? Possibly. There's people that really love old school Paul Levesque's Triple H character. Time to play the game! And his spritzes. That's fine. That's fine. As a booker, if you think you're ever getting NXT black and gold back, no. Paul Levesque is lost right now. Paul Levesque is old. You see him at the media scrum. You see him with his glasses. He's looking like a 90-year-old man. The guy was put up in a fucking bed for 6 months with a heart issue. Paul Levesque is done. He's burnt out booking-wise. I don't know who's thinking Paul Levesque is going to save WW. He's right there with Vinnie Mac, and they're making decisions that are boggling you, but not me. It's exactly what I would expect from this douche. LA Knight not on SmackDown in New York City with 4 weeks before SummerSlam. Yeah. That's not cooling him off. That is shutting him down. My unit, salute to every single one of you, man. That's your review. I'm going to go over some super chats for a minute, if you don't mind. There were some super thankses in the last upload. I will get to them in the very next podcast, guys. Maybe there'll be a special tomorrow or definitely Monday. But there was a lot of super thankses, which is like super chats, but on regular uploads, there's a button down below after we're live, and it's just called thanks. So we call them super thankses. There was a bunch of you guys that threw coffees over. I'll get to you in the next upload. This has gone a long time. This was not supposed to go 2 hours. I'm busy as fuck, and I am already about 20 minutes past schedule. So, what I would like to do, let me get over this. I need this on the big screen, too, if you don't mind. Hold on. Hold on, man. I know there was a lot of you guys that threw coffees in this upload. If I can get to you, that'd be epic. Ash Stegmeister Stegels with a 5-spot coffee starts us off. Ash, salute. Before I go over your super chat, Ash, I want to give a shout out to Tim Nichols, who just joined channel membership. He has just earned his gold card, bro. How badass is that? I love when people earn their gold card. I love when my amplified unit earns the gold card, bro. I get that big green box that shows up in the chat. Tim Nichols, you just got a green name and a gold card, brother. Salute to Tim Nichols. Love seeing that shit, bro. Like an angel gets their wings, a gentleman, a fucking amplified unit, red team go member gets their gold card, man. There's nothing like that. Tim Nichols, I appreciate you, brother. Welcome. Stegmeister kicks us off the right way. It's criminal that LA Knight was used for non-aired segment last night, taking out Hit Row, who are punchlines themselves to bad jokes at this point. Stegmeister, it's done purposely, bro, and it's no coincidence it's Hit Row. Michael Cole is not fond of them at all. Michael Cole's always in the ear of Paul Levesque McMahon, and they stifled. They shut down LA Knight, man. And I'll use your words, Stegmeister, criminal. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for starting us off the right way. Strict Tango with a 2-spot. It would have made sense for Triple H to have had Knight win. And I think you mean at Money in the Bank. Of course it would have made sense. And that's why Strict Tango, that's why they didn't have LA Knight win at Money in the Bank. Because it makes too much sense. Because we would be excited every time his music hits and he comes out with a briefcase. Instead, we got Damian Priest coming out with a briefcase every Monday night from here on out. And we're all going to go, oh, it's Damian. Yeah, is he going to cash in tonight? Does anybody give a fuck? Yeah. No, that's what we're going to play. Awesome. Fucking awesome. Said nobody ever. I'm fucking real. Strict Tango. No question mark there, brother. Just an exclamation point. Derek Fleming Jr., 2-spot coffee. Tired of the Triple H apologists. Good H, bad Vince. Shake my head. Yeah, there's those people that are still out there. If anything is bad, you just blame Vince. If it's good, you blame, or you put the praise on the Paul Levesque McMahon. No. Even Paul Levesque McMahon is staring at a camera telling you, I produced this show. These are the reasons I made the decisions. Nobody wants to hear it. Fleck Guapo, 5-spot coffee. Last night's MSG crowd-wise was a movie. But no, you're going to talk that shit, BC. Orlando in 2 weeks, perhaps. Any word on the Royal Rumble 24 location? I have no word on Rumble's location. Looks like possibly Orlando. I don't know about 2 weeks. Try to hit it up, Fleck, if you can. BC's not going to be able to for sure. But last night's crowd, no question. MSG always brings it. We just ask for a good show. We'll take the 45-minute Bloodline storyline with no wrestling. We'll take that, and we enjoyed that. But the decisions to keep off LA Knight, no, New York isn't going to accept that shit, and we didn't. And a lot of the shit on here with Charlie Flair standing tall in the middle of NYC's Madison Square Garden, no, she got the reaction she got, justified. Austin Theory keeps his title and nobody gives a fuck. Everything NYC did last night, justified. Fleck Guapo. Thanks for being part of the real deal on it, bro. All the best if you're in Orlando in 2 weeks, too. I think is that a Smackdown, I believe? Enjoy that shit. We got, who do we got up in here next? Where do I want to go? Eric Newton with a 10-spot, couple of coffees. Eric Newton says, BC, I hope Randy Orton comes back in RKO Sethington and Cody. If I have to listen to that crowd sing, anymore, I'm going to lose it. It's so annoying. Eric Newton, I literally have to mute it now. And by the way, 350 on the ups, guys. I forgot to mention that in the last hour and a half. We're on our way to 400. I need you guys to turn your volume up. Be as amplified as possible, and let's get that son of a bitch to 400, man, live with 50 semi minutes of notice, by the way. So you guys are crushing this, man. Eric Newton, I mute the TV when they're doing the walking zombie fucking, and they're not even walking, they're just a bunch of zombies, man. And it goes on for so long. WWE just beats on that fucking dead horse, bro. WWE will take a good thing and they'll make it nauseating. I mute the TV because I get nauseous when I hear the sing-along. That's a real thing. So Eric Newton, I just hope Orton comes back. I want Orton. Now see, you want Orton to come back in RKO Sethington and Cody. I just want him to come back in RKO Matthew Riddle. Because I'm looking at what's after the Matt Riddle proposed feud. I want the Legend Killer back. I want that diabolical Viper. The one that we all knew when he comes out, anything goes. I miss that Randy Orton, bro. So that can only truly happen once he takes out Matt Riddle, bro, and his little painted fingernails and his little scooter and his flip-flops. Eric Newton appreciated. Dante, Jaron, 23, $4.99, 5-spot coffee. Others, like your buddy from NY, are already putting the blame on Vince for everything wrong with this show, since he was said to be backstage. Who are you talking about? JD? No. I know he blames Vince for a lot, but this was Paul Levesque all over it. I think he knows that. There's no way that... Guys, LA Knight alone has been off of WrestleMania, off of Backlash, off of Night of Champions. He was just one of 7 and loses at Money in the Bank, and now it looks like he's off of SummerSlam. If he gets put on, it's only going to be with 21 days notice. I mean, you gotta blame Paul Levesque for some of that. You call yourself the chief content creative officer. We cannot just say you get tied up every show and locked in a closet by your father-in-law. No. Now, even if it's my boy JD, somebody's gotta stop the shit and just blame him. You can blame Vince too, but blame him. I refuse to believe that he's just blaming Vince, man. Anybody from here on out, you have to place the blame on both now, man. And a lot of it has to go on Paul, because Paul has just recently said, I see what people are saying and I read about it. Vince doesn't. Vince doesn't give a fuck about your 140 characters or nothing. Paul Levesque finds out about it. So voice your displeasure to Paul Levesque. Call him out on it. Maybe it'll be a semblance of fucking change. But he's got to stop kissing ass and making bad decisions. Paul Levesque for sure, man. Dante Jaron, 23. I don't catch anybody else's podcast. I don't watch I don't do anything like that. I don't have enough time in the day. I respect other people's opinions, but there's facts at the end of the day. And the fact is, Paul Levesque needs to get the blame on this. He has to. You can blame Vince too. That's cool. But please don't let him off the hook. Dante Jaron, 23. Salute. Jane Donnelly, 5-spot coffee. What up, BC? Amp unit, let's rock this bitch. Happy birthday to our boy JR9. Hope you have a good day. Red team, go! Jane Donnelly, what up, bro? You know we've been rocking this shit for almost 2 hours straight. We're about to close in on 400 on the ups, and that's on 50 some odd minutes notice. It's because of people like you, Jane Donnelly. Jane, happy JR9, is it today or tomorrow your birthday, bro? Jane Donnelly, thanks for the heads up on that. Much respect right back to you. Devil Jinx with a 10-spot, couple of coffees. The Nexus, Rusev Day, The Fiend, Cody, LA Knight, even Daniel Bryan's 2014 push was not intended. These mooks care more about their egos than making money and a good product. No question. And Devil Jinx, The Rock was never intended, man. They had no choice but to listen to us and cancel out the Rocky Maivia bullshit. Stone Cold was always intended to be ringmaster. And they didn't want none of that, Devil Jinx. You are so right, bro. Prime. Beautiful examples of what we're talking about. Birthday is tomorrow, July 9th. JR9 Gaming, salute. Happy birthday, bro. My right-hand man on the channel. I'm going to try to get up a podcast tomorrow, man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but it would be great, man. And I know your NXT report, man. I saw the super thanks. I wasn't able to read it through yet. There was a lot of super thankses, and I've been off the past couple days, but I would definitely want to get to the NXT report. I would love to put something out tomorrow. I'm going to try. If not, Monday for sure. Jonathan S., 2-spot. Hey, BC, drinking up the coffee with your jeers, bro. Jonathan S., I appreciate it, bro. Knock that shit down. Stay amplified, Jonathan S. Jamal Straken with a 2-spot. H is so stupid to make this many bad decisions. And that's why I blame both, too, man. You're getting a little bit of Vince and a hell of a lot of Paul Levesque McMahon, and together, you're getting a lot of befuddling, dumb shit being called. That's why some of these decisions are so utterly bad and stupid that, like, not even Vince made so many bad calls. The show sucked. They were boring. They were redundant. But these are decisions that are, like, in your lap. Like, even Vince had to, like, go with certain shit. And Paul Levesque McMahon refuses. And everything is ruined afterwards because of it. This is what happens when you put Paul Levesque and Vinnie Mac together. Jamal Strake, and no doubt, bro. Sean with a 2-spot. LA Knight is the 1998 version of The Rock, over as fuck. The only difference, Sean, is they put The Rock when he was getting over on TV every show. LA Knight was there in the building, ready to rock out SmackDown in NYC's Madison Square Garden, and he was left off the show purposely. They put him out there before the show to shut everybody up so we wouldn't do an LA Knight chant the rest of the show. They put him out there first before the show, shut everybody up, and then brought out the 45-minute Bloodline segment, hoping everybody forgets about it. How sad is that, Sean? Clutch City fan, 5-spot coffee. BC, I'm at the point where I'll just watch the Bloodline clips on YouTube because of how bad WWE is booking these shows. LA's booking is atrocious. Clutch City fan, what makes it criminal is the fact that they're not just cooling down LA Knight, they're shutting him down. And Asuka, you want to be getting called done dirty, done filthy? It looks like Asuka is just going to lose that title just a few weeks after she got it on a Saturday afternoon, by the way, not at WrestleMania. She's going to lose it at SummerSlam already. She's always been just a pawn. She's never been a centerpiece of the game for the big end goal. She's just a pawn in the game. That's sad. That's criminal. Clutch City fan, I don't blame you at all, brother. Insane hippie insane, 5-spot coffee. Stone Cold won King of the Ring because Triple H was being punished for the Clicks curtain call, not just because he got himself over. Absolutely. Insane hippie insane, by the way. Beautiful point. Do you guys realize that was going to Hunter Hearst Helmsley? King of the Ring. Beside the fact that Stone Cold was getting himself over, Hunter Hearst was going to get that shit. And he got punished for the Click. And his one thing that he had, oh man, I could go into all the details that I know about that whole situation. But I left that out earlier. Insane hippie insane is 1,000,000,000% correct. It was supposed to be H. He got punished for the shit. So then they went. Now, could you imagine? So now you removed Hunter Hearst. Stone Cold would obviously be the next guy, right? Could you imagine if Vince went somewhere else? Could you imagine if Vince went Savio Vega? Savio Vega. Or Jake Roberts. Who I love, by the way. Both of them I have such respect. But what would be the purpose? This guy's super over, and the original guy is now out of the equation. So what did Vince do, guys? He gave it to Stone Cold. That's business. And what happened, guys? What happened? For anyone that goes, oh, BC, I don't know if it would work the way you think it would. What happened when Vince did that decision? Stone Cold went to another level the very next night, didn't he? And I'm talking beyond Austin 316, guys. Forget the 316 signs. How fast he just catapulted from that one awesome pay-per-view decision. You need those moments to get you to the next level. Otherwise, Cody's stagnant. And Cody is stagnant. Cody gets a good reception, and Cody just feels like another guy on the roster right now. LA Knight, not even fucking used. Meanwhile, Damien's got a briefcase, boring us to fucking smithereens. You guys know I'm right. These are massive botches in booking. They never did this back in the day, as much as we rip Vince McMahon. He didn't do this type of shit. Paul Levesque McMahon does it nonstop. It's like he's purposely going out of his way to say fuck you to the fans, fuck who you think is over. I don't give a fuck if you think Cody should win this. He put a sledgehammer to my throne in AEW, and AEW whipped the shit out of my NXT. So he's not winning. I'm going to bring him to the grandest stage, just like I did Sting and Booker T and all the WCW guys. I'm going to put him at WrestleMania, and I'm going to put him out of their fucking misery. I'm going to take him out. I'm going to fucking put him on the sidelines. I'm going to fucking have him done dirty and filthy because I can. And that's what he did to LA Knight. I don't give a fuck if you're cheering him. I'm good friends with Bad Bunny. Damien did me a favor at Backlash Puerto Rico. And this is my favor back to him. So I don't give a fuck if you like LA Knight. This is about Bad Bunny, and Damien's got to have this. No, he doesn't. Insane hippie insane. I appreciate you reminding everybody by reminding BC about that fact. That's not a small fact. H was actually supposed to win that. Christopher Blackshear, 2-spot coffee. Funaki and Santino drew more emotion from the fans. Bro, I would take Funaki and Santino in a heartbeat over fucking Ricochet and even Sheamus today. How sad is that? Fucking Santino and his fucking Cobra. I would take over Drew McIntyre's booking today. Christopher. That's good, brother. DB for life with a couple of 5-spot coffees. Still to this day, I get goosebumps when I hear Jake the Snake's theme song. It's gotten to where I think the Body Donnas are more larger than life than now. Man, the Body Donnas theme music with Sonny leading them out, that's a tag team. I didn't mind the Body Donnas at all, DB for life. And Jake Roberts had a badass theme that I'll crank up at the gym today if need be. DB for life says, let's see if fans will stick around in a few weeks when training camp starts up, BC. H plus VKM don't put care into WWE, and they act like WWE is the NFL, NBA, MLB. Shake my head. Yeah, well, then you see their fucking ratings, and they're nowhere near. And when football's been gone on Monday nights. Now, they pulled their couple best weeks because Vince was supposedly had his fingerprints all over the show, and that gets people watching. Vince equals ratings. There's no way around it. I don't like that fact, but people have been fucking tuning in, right? That 1.8 to a 1.9, almost a 2 mil, but they can't get 2. And football's coming back next month. And they haven't even gotten back to 2 million. So football's going to bring them where, guys? 1.5s, 1.6s with horrible shows? Buckle up. SmackDown loses the Bloodline storyline. They're going to fall under 2? I'm asking. DB for life, no question. Dave Mille, 10 spot, couple of coffees. Savage vs. Flair was such an underrated storyline, even when they were in WCW when Miss Elizabeth turned on Savage. Miss Elizabeth as a heel was something that a lot of us thought we would never see. No question, brother. Bro, their WrestleMania 8 match, which wasn't even in the main event slot, but it was a double main event, but they were in the middle of the show, was probably my favorite of the night. I was looking forward to it to most because it was the best storyline. And I was a young BC at the time, bro. And their WCW shit, I fucking loved as well. Miss Elizabeth perfectly placed and booked at all times. No question, man. Stegmeister, 5 spot. I'm officially dubbing Charlie Flair as Channel Changer Charlie because of last night. Triple H will still book Triple C, Channel Changer Charlie, right to the fucking top of the stratosphere, Stegmeister. Now she just has another nickname, but she'll be booked just as much. But I don't blame you, brother. Channel changing, inducing. Legend of Fold 101, 5 spot. BC, keep doing the Lord's work. Stay blessed. Much love. At this point, it's feeling that way, man. Trying to decipher this shit in the most honest way when wrestling fans just don't want to hear it sometimes. I don't know, but I think LA Knight's going to be fine, BC. Yeah, that's the problem. He's going to be fine because of everything he's doing on his own. Organically trying to turn gold out of shit. He shouldn't be just fine. He should be on to the next level, starting at the Money in the... He should have been at WrestleMania, however he was. He wasn't even on the card. At least put him in Puerto Rico's Backlash. They didn't even put him on the card at Backlash. At least put him in doing something at Night of Champions. They didn't even put him at Night of Champions. They had him lose on a SmackDown via fruit roll-up to Xavier Woods, and then at Madison Square Garden after Money in the Bank with only 4 weeks to SummerSlam, they said, fuck you, go on a dark segment before the show. Beat up Hit Row. Play around with them. Do you know after Money in the Bank, a day later, they were at a live event and they had Rey Mysterio defeat LA Knight. Last night at Madison Square Garden, LA's not even on the show. He's in that dark segment. Next week, they'll only be 3 weeks before SummerSlam. So you're doing him dirty even if you try to put him on SummerSlam at this point, which I hope they still do. But you're sabotaging him. How is this helping LA Knight? This isn't adversity. This isn't struggle. You're literally keeping him off shows. You're not allowing the casual fans or anybody to give a fuck outside of the diehard IWC. You're not just cooling LA Knight down. You're shutting him down. That's criminal. That's a travesty. Legend of Fold 101. I appreciate you, bro. Big time. Ray Hunt with a 10 spot. Keeping LA Knight, off TV would be as mind-boggling as if the Ravens made the Super Bowl and John Harbaugh decides to bench Lamar Jackson. When you have a diamond in the rough, you can cash in. Yeah, that's the problem. He's waiting to go to the next level, and that's not even just bad booking. They keep him off the shows ahead of SummerSlam, at Mania, Backlash. They just keep him off. They're literally just trying to just cool him down and now shut him down because cooling him down didn't work. Yeah, but for the Ravens, I don't even want to think about them in a Super Bowl, bro. But I just don't like the AFC, period. I don't even like anybody in the NFC outside my Green Bay Packers. Ray Hunt. Good analogy, though. JR9 Gaming, 5-spot coffee, NXT Stars. NXT Stars main roster booking is exactly why I'm glad JC and Roxy are still in NXT. Plus, thanks for the stream. Badass way to prepare for my 22nd birthday tomorrow. JR9 Gaming. Rock it out. Happy birthday, brother. Thank you for all the contributions to the channel, man. I'm looking forward to your NXT report, too. I know it's going to be a little late, but I'm going to read that shit word for word in the next amped up upload podcast. Happy birthday, JR9, man. Rock it out. Enjoy it, dude. And enjoy the whole fucking year going forward and many more to come. Salute. And I already know my unit in the chat already gave you a happy birthday. Feel free to again. Salute to my right-hand man, JR9 Gaming. Happy motherfucking Amplify birthday. Brianna 5-spot, thank you for making me smile and laugh for a bit. I just lost my job of 16 years and truly needed it. Salute, BC, and the AMP unit. Cheers. Brianna, much love and respect. Brianna, thank you for making me smile and laugh for a bit. I just lost my job of 16 years and truly needed it. Salute, BC and AMP unit. Cheers. Man, that sucks. There's nothing like that, but you know what? Sometimes rock bottom, you treat it as a trampoline, and you can skyrocket to the top even faster. Every time something goes drastically wrong, I treat rock bottom like a trampoline. And on the way up, I stop for nobody. Yeah, and I'm even more amplified. So bigger successes are coming up, Brianna. Trust me. I love rock bottom sometimes. I love when a day seems like everything's going wrong. I love it because I know it's about to get really good. So, Brianna, I'm glad that I made you smile and laugh for a couple of hours. That's what this is about, man. You know, people come across the channel. Does this guy really scream and take wrestling that seriously? I have a show. It's a podcast. We have fun. We amp up the level, right? The volume. Our antics. Everything we do is amplified. It's entertainment. Just sit back and be entertained. Don't question my level of amplifiedness. Obviously, I'm not talking pro wrestling in a Starbucks screaming and taking out baristas and throwing them through walls because Cody didn't win the title at Mania or LA Knight was off of the show last night. No, nobody's getting hurt. It's a show. Grab a beverage and be entertained. But that's what it's about, man. I made you smile and laugh for a couple hours after something shitty. Like losing your job of 16 years. Brianna, I'm glad I can bring you that level of entertainment. Honestly, that makes it all worth it. You know, it's why I do what I do, man. I created this channel from nothing. It became a success on its own. The Tube, this platform never gave it the push. The Tube acted like Paul Levesque McMahon and would not push the channel. To this day, it hasn't pushed the channel. We have scratched and clawed for everything we've ever gotten. We're like the little ECW channel. But I'm glad I can entertain you, man. Even through rough times. Brianna, much love and respect. Strict Tango with a 2-spot. It's a no-brainer to push wrestler when the crowd is behind them. That's what's always been the philosophy. Hogan, Stone Cold, Rock, Daniel Bryan, Kofi. That's always been the formula. Paul Levesque McMahon just doesn't want to listen. Even worse than Vince McMahon. Trust me, Vince never wants to listen. We just have to push him to the point. Even Roman finally, he turned him because Joe was getting pissed off. Paul Levesque McMahon refuses. I've never seen anything like this shit. That this guy thinks his shit don't stink and his decisions are the best and he refuses to listen to us. That's Paul Levesque McMahon. Jamal Straken with a 2-spot. Bray feuded with LA Knight to show that he is a star. No doubt, Jamal, I love the Royal Rumble with Bray because I knew what was going to come out of it. I knew this is one of those situations where Bray obviously is going to win, and he should. But what did I tell you guys? From the jump, I said LA Knight is going to gain a lot of momentum. There's going to be victory in defeat. That's what they're trying to tell you with Carmelo and Sethington and Greyson Waller losing to Edge, right? There's victory and defeat, don't worry. No, this was a real situation where LA Knight came out better than he went into the feud. And that is absolutely thanks to Bray Wyatt. And they actually did that correctly. And then they saw, oops, he actually got over. Now we got to shut him down. Jamal Straken, you know what's up, brother. Appreciate it, dude. Guys, I think I got all the supers. There was a lot of you guys on this Saturday morning on 51 minutes of notice. I did not know that I was going live earlier than 51 minutes before we went live. Had I known, I would have told you guys in the last podcast. But I didn't know. And as it is, I went way over. This was not supposed to go anywhere near 2 hours. We're going at about 2.5 hours. So you guys just made this fucking... JR9 says, fantastic stream, BC. That's because you guys were fucking fantastic. JR9, happy birthday, brother. Hopefully I can put up an upload tomorrow, but if I don't, I'm giving you an amplified happy birthday right now, brother. And I'll give you a belated one on Monday as well. Salute. To everybody that was up in here, red team and gold team, James Shrimp Fajitas, JR9 Gaming, Pile Driver Finisher, Reggie Wolfpack, Brianna, Young Riaz, Zoom Station, Marie Applewhite, Paw Erwolf 15, hopefully I said that right, Jane Donnelly Gold Card, Michael Porter, Tony Partita, Strict Tango, Santivia Major, Pimp Jesus, TKG, I got James Shrimp Fajitas, right? Fourth one, Carlos Ray. What up, Carlos? Salute to Carlos up in the chat. Godswilla gold status as well. Eddie Brash was up in here. Thank you, Eddie. What the fuck? Squatch on the watch. Salute. Nixola. Salute. Joseph Ramos. Malachi Ward. I appreciate it, guys. Renee G. Hassan, James Miller, Snake Venom. Man, there was a lot. Janelle Layton, Michael Porter, I think I got right. Ash Stegmeister, obviously. Jim, Gary, JJ Bulldog, Steve-O, Mr. Big 200, JJ, I think I got right. JJ Bulldog. Guys, I'll be here another hour doing just a whole roll call. There's still hundreds actually just going over the super chats. We are about 15 to 20 away from 400, by the way. So we're going to hit 400 within the next few minutes of being off the air. 400 on just 51 minutes notice. That's you guys, man. That's you guys just showing up amplified, brother. So I appreciate you guys big time. Flip. Check you, man. Big Nang was up in here. Big Nang, check you. All my gold team, next level support, man. The super thankers from the last podcast, I'm going to go over those in the next regular podcast upload. I know there are several super thankses. And if there's any new ones today, I will add those to those. I don't care how long it takes. In the next upload, I will give every shout out to the super thankers. I promise you that. Last one, and if there's any today. It's not needed, by the way. If there is, I'll go over that. All right, BC's got to go get a lot more coffee, and then my travels are abound, man. The next 13 hours, I got a lot of traveling to do. Salute to my amplified unit. That's my thoughts on SmackDown. That's your Amped Up podcast. Until next time, and there will be a next time. Top guy, I'm out. BC, saying check you. Yo! DJ is a prodigy with a 6-month membership, by the way. More people talked about LA Knight losing Money in the Bank than Damian winning. LA's shirt is number 5 right now in top merch sellers. It actually got into 3 over the weekend, DJ is a prodigy. He is now in the top 3. He just overtook Stone Cold Steve Austin. And you are right. Nobody's talking about Damian with the briefcase. We're talking about how LA Knight didn't get it. That's the fucking problem. Salute Amp Unit. Check you. Salute.